Welcome back.
We're back. We're back.
I've been you see these like people posting on Instagram, like they'll be out for like a walk in Central Park and there will be like a crowded meadow of people and they'll put something out on Instagram and say, New York is back, baby.
How many A's are in the back?
Lots of A's and then lots of
A's.
B's and Y's in the baby. And I get like somewhat, it's just like, you see it a lot.
Yeah.
It's like becomes kind of cliche.
Oh, for sure.
And but New York is finally back, or will be back at the end of the month.
Shot Girl Summer.
Yeah.
Waxed and waxed.
Yeah.
Ready to pod. This is, what's the other ones that we've been hearing? Shot Girl Summer, waxed and waxed.
Yeah.
Shot Girl Summer's the plan on that. I don't know. There's a shit ton. The Summer of New York.
Yeah, the Summer of New York.
Yeah, the one we're going to tell our kids about.
Yep. And I did a deep dive on the rules today to figure out exactly when stuff was happening.
Beautiful.
May 7th, which is this weekend, is 75% capacity.
Love it. Is it bar seating as well, right?
Yeah, bar seating is already going on.
Love it.
And then May 19th, I think it's May 19th is the end of the outdoor curfew, and May 17th is 100% capacity.
Beautiful.
And then May 31st is the end of the indoor curfew.
Let's go.
And what I was trying to figure out is, does 100% capacity mean just like a fire code thing, or does that mean people can just roll into the bar without assigned seating and ramble around?
No, because technically, I don't think you can just ramble. I think you have to have a seat. And so basically funny you asked that, like what I read was basically as long as you can, it's 100% capacity as long as everyone's 6 foot apart. So if you have
social distancing measures still in place.
Exactly. Yep. So like a place like Wolfie and Nell where it's a little bit smaller in circumference probably can't be 100% capacity if they can't keep people 6 foot apart normally it's like,
those rules are a little bit like
I don't think you can stand and drink still. Like you still have to have a mask if you're going to stand.
But this is where, so basically the rules, the social distancing guidelines and mask rules still have to be in place until further notice, until we don't know when yet.
Yeah, that's
maybe July 1st. They were saying we don't know.
Yeah, lifted restrictions July 1.
Yeah,
if that'll qualify.
Yeah.
Which even then, are you going to wear a mask?
It's unclear. It's unclear when that will be lifted.
But let's say July 1, they don't do masks anymore. Are you wearing one?
Oh fuck no, no, no. I'm not wearing one.
Yeah,
I don't have. I mean, we've been vaccinated. You don't have to.
That's true.
It's all like performative caring. You know, it's trying to make people comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a couple occasions like maybe it makes sense like on a plane maybe.
I mean, it doesn't make sense if you're vaccinated.
I think they're still going to. No, it's not true. The CDC's guidelines, and this is, I think that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they were saying like they have like that grid that tells you like what activities are safe and when you need a mask if you're vaccinated and someone's not vaccinated. Yeah, they're full of shit.
Yeah, it depends what you're following, but this is the interesting
that's like
part.
The benchmark. Who else am I supposed to follow?
Yeah. The social distancing guidelines remain in place, but Cuomo said the bar or restaurant, if they choose to only let people in who have been vaccinated or can produce a negative COVID test, then they don't have to do social distancing rules.
Wild.
So that's the caveat.
Dude, we should just start reserving patios. Like all of our friends are vaccinated now.
Yeah. It's up to the bar. It's up to the bar.
Yeah,
so the bar has
to. If I can tell you, if you're a bar owner and I'm like, hey, I've got 100 people I can put into your place for friend of the pod, Fiddlesticks. Like if we tell them like, hey, we can get 100 people into your place. I mean, that place is so big that it probably wouldn't work there. But like, there's some places you could probably tell them we're gonna do 100 vax people, no social distance, like hook it up. I mean, Phoebe's did us a solid and loves us. Like that's a good one too, where it's like,
yeah. But the point is I want to be able to, in the end, the dream that I want to get back to is being able to say, hey, we're going out tonight. Let's meet at, X bar at 9 p.m. and then we don't have to book a table.
Yep.
We don't have to call ahead. We don't have to have a group chat figuring out a head count for how many seats we need at the table.
Yep.
We can just go.
Not only that,
and we can go in and we don't have to be seated, and we can just roam around, do whatever we want, and then an hour later we can walk into the next bar without calling ahead, without reserving a table, without planning ahead. In the end, that's the thing that I cannot wait to be done with, is meticulously planning where we're going every weekend.
Like even having to make plans like a week out, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one of my favorite things about New York is like you kind of figure out things off the cuff. And so like now it's like all of a sudden like I've got a group chat of like people like messaging me like, hey, we only had a table for like 12, but 20 are coming now. So-and-so's got a friend and this and that. And it's like, it's just stressful when like, you shouldn't be stressed hanging with your friends. Like it's just this, the environment makes it that way because of like all of the climbs. So it's like, even though it's our pod, like we've just been around the same group of people over and over again responsibly, but it's just like, it's just the frustration of it. It's crazy, but I'm excited for that. Kind of what you said. It was like going to 3 bars in a night and like not having issues because it's just like normalized. And like it's back to New York.
Not buying a ticket, not paying a cover, not group chatting, calling ahead for a table. Like I was at I was at 310 on Saturday and a buddy texted me and he's like, hey, what are you up to? Like, let's go out. And I was like, I'm at 310, but like the table's full. I can't, like, I wish I could. Like,
and once you leave, they're not going to let you back in.
Yeah.
The table's gone.
Yeah. I'm just like, I can't wait to not have that in my life anymore.
Yeah, that's, oh my God, I'm so stoked. So we're right there. I'm actually, it's quite the conundrum. I was like very sad because I'm gone for like the first 3 weeks of June, basically. First 2 weeks of June.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like holding on. I was like thankful when I saw de Blasio. I was like, hey, July 1st, mass reopen. And then fucking Cuomo hits me with the left hook that's like, actually, your life will resume on like May 17th.
Yeah.
Or like
May 31st is May 31st is the date when everything goes back to normal, except we don't know about masks and social distancing guidelines.
I think it'll be a while before masks. I think even July 1st, there'll probably still be a mask mandate. Yeah. It's just like to be safe. I mean,
I don't know. Texas and Florida got rid of them, have seen no uptick.
Right? That's the wild part. It's insane, especially because they've been so adamant about like, fuck the masks. In that play, and like now they're still seeing like downturns. Yeah, I mean I get it. It's more
even New York
out,
actually
dense.
saw a little bit of an uptick. It wasn't much, but it was like in March or April or whatever. There was a little uptick, but like Florida and Texas, straight down.
That's insane.
But yeah, no, I can't wait. I was thinking about how I need to thinking about how to maximize the whole experience. Yeah. And get the most out of the summer that I can, or not just the summer, but like this next fall.
What do you have on your list of things to maximize? Like what's the game plan?
Just being able to go out and meet people again.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I used to just meet someone new every weekend.
Do you believe in that whole adage that like this is the summer of sex? Like you're going to go to a bar and basically like everyone's going to be just like,
I do think that people in general, like if you talk to someone, they're going to be more friendly than they were a year ago. I think people are just a little more appreciative of other people.
Yeah, I think that too, but I also think like the crowd is going to be a lot larger. Like it's like now these people who are like, I'm tired from work, or like I'm a homebody, or I'm this, like all of a sudden like the big fish tank that is New York City is going to have a lot more fish and feel a lot more crowded. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like I'm kind of excited too for like it's almost like freshman year of college again, or like orientation, where it's like now all of a sudden like people who after 4 years you would never see and like drift off and like figure out their own shit like are back in that phase of like, I miss life. And so now you're gonna have just like new people coming in, kind of you're saying like different walks of life, diverse crowds, like and I still believe that like this is the part I'm bummed about. Like, there's going to be less like tourist and people like just coming to visit. Cause the thing is like, I mean, it's fun, but like, it's going to be nice when it's like actual people who live in New York, and that those first couple of weeks are going to be really fun, where it's going to be like not people visiting from like other states and stuff and just like come and have a good time and like hi, bye, never see you again. It's going to be like legit, like I toughed this shit out. I was living at my parents' place.
People are going to release
just
a
scored
lot.
something. Yeah, it's like I'm ready to like, let's make this the New York summer.
Yeah. And also you have this thing now where a lot of people are working remote and will continue to do so.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't know what the numbers are on this, but I believe that anyone who was living in or around the city just because they had to go to an office but didn't really want to be here, like a lot of those people have left.
Yeah.
And so the people that are here now are here because they want to be here.
Totally.
Not here because they have to work here.
Yeah.
You know? Like I remember when I was like, when I was coming out of college and like got my first job in an office, like I remember thinking like, God, I would kill to just be able to make money working remote and like not have to go to an office.
Dude,
and I like
the same thing.
And I remember like getting that first job where I could like work remote a couple days a week. And then I was like, man, if I could just go remote full time, and like I would sleep so much better. I would eat so much better. And I have that now.
Interesting.
We have that now.
This is gold for you. Like you wouldn't go back.
No. I mean, I would pop in the office every now and then, but I like not having to go.
Yeah.
Like I remember going out in the city pre-pandemic and thinking like, man, if I didn't have to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to get a workout in and then go to the office.
Yep. I literally am in the same exact boat. I had the same schedule too. It's like I was waking up at 6 every morning, heading to Equinox, like hitting a gym set, and then like going to the office, but then not coming home until like 8 o'clock because of the nature of my work.
Yep.
So it was like, one of the exciting parts, and this is part of the golden era thing we talked about in like episode 1. It's basically like, I'm excited to like when, let's say like I'm off at like, let's say 6:30, right? I can go straight to the bar, straight from logging off my computer. It's going to take me 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. By that time, like still smash a happy hour deal, like meet all my buddies. There's no like, like tail end, just missed it. Or like, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to deal with the transit.
Yeah.
You don't have to deal with like,
so much more time.
Yeah.
And you have time. There's never been a better time to maximize your free time into whatever you want it to be.
100%.
Like I mean, granted, you still have to work, but a lot of the inconveniences that ate up time aren't there anymore.
Yep. And like your free time, you're able to maximize your free time in the sense too that like, now if you want to do laundry, like right in between meetings, or like you have like a quick break and you can like move things around and like go run an errand really quick. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Like now you can do that. You don't have to do that on Sundays anymore and like take time out of your Sunday. You can like focus your Sunday on.
Yep. I can do laundry or get a haircut in the middle of the workday.
Exactly. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, it works for a lot of people, but I will say like, I do miss the human interaction element. Like I'd have to go in some days because I went to a happy hour with my coworkers on like, say like last week and just like caught up with them because we hadn't seen anybody in a year. And we have like a pretty close knit like org on the finance side. So it like made sense to all go see each other. And like, sure enough, like being there almost like made me a better person. Like I left there being like wanting to work harder. You know what I mean? Like I think I got into the lull and like the conversations I was having and like getting like everybody else's state of the business because we all work on different parts and like talking through with people. It's amazing how energized and how motivated I felt leaving that place. Like I didn't think that was possible. Like and like a lot of it too is like I live alone now where it's like, you kind of, it's easy to find yourself getting into like a lull or a routine or like days get a little bit monotonous and the same thing over and over again where it's like that. I think like talking through it with people and like getting their state of play, I was just like, wow, like I do miss human interaction. Like I all my life thought I wanted to work from home. Like it would fit my lifestyle. It makes sense. Like, I can focus on my fitness goals, my health, my dietary goals and like get a little bit of the nuanced shit that I hate doing. Like to me, the worst thing was like, I would come home on a Monday, I'd do laundry, I'd cook and I have to go to bed after like working a fucking 10-hour day or whatever.
Yeah.
To me, like I hate the idea of working to live and not living to work, living to work, not working to live, where it's like, I hate that shit. Like I'm working because I want to do the things I like to do because I want to support the lifestyle I like. Like my job is a supplement to my lifestyle and to who I am as a person, it's not who I am. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so like for me, it drove me off the fucking wall to waste days. I called them wasted days. It's like throwaways. It's like, oh, like it's part of the whole hangover thing where like the thing that's different from New York, and I think any other place in my life, is I've rarely had a true hangover. I'm not doing anything tomorrow day. Like we were even talking about this weekend. I mean, we went out, we had a good time. We, you know, we're with our pod and we're responsible, but we were like, you know, we had a blast. We're hungover, went to the Yankee game, like had a great day, a classic New York fucking day. Show up or like, and Sunday, like it's just so hard to just like sit around. Like it was 80 degrees before you know it. Like I got pulled out to go to the park with some friends and like, you know, it just turned into like, got ice cream, did this, did that. Like, you know, like you just don't have that here, which is like the beauty of this city that I think it's only going to get better and better.
Yeah.
So one thing too, it's like, how do you correlate now? I'm digressing, but I think this is like helpful. I think for our audience, for you, like, how are you going to take the good habits and like all of the good things you've done and you've optimized and then like put that into your new life once things get back? Cause we're already finding like schedules are filling. You and I have plans every night for the next 2 weeks, right? That's one thing we've talked about basically. Like I got a friend coming, I don't need to belabor the point. The point is like, we fucking basically have every night filled now. Yeah. So like, what are you doing to kind of like maximize your Sunday so that it's not a hangover in bed day anymore? It's like a productive day so that Monday you can just do like work, set up for the week, get everything in place because Tuesday through Saturday now, you basically have plans.
Yeah. I feel like you have to, for me, I think I'm trying to get cause I feel like before the pandemic, like I would go out, besides Mondays, I would go out every night.
Yeah.
And like it was routine. I think my body was just used to it.
Yeah.
And since we haven't, with the way things are and curfews and like for me at least, I haven't been going out as much during the week during this whole thing.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, you can't. It's harder.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not. We're just not doing it.
That's fascinating. Well, you know? Yeah, that's a good point.
Like it was like, I remember, I think it was in, like I had like a stretch where I was out. I think I was out doing something, like out at a bar. Like I think it was drinking, like out at a bar drinking, not necessarily getting hammered every night, but I had like a 2-month stretch in the city. I think in like 2019 where I was out every single night.
Yeah.
A lot of it like playing sports or just going out with friends. And I think I'd like to get back to that because this
already
is
happening.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We filled our Tuesday or Wednesdays now with a kickball. We've got a group fitness class on Thursday. We do outdoors.
Yeah. Fridays
and Saturdays are like, dude. The other one too.
But it wasn't just that though. Like I would stay like out late.
Yeah.
Out late. And then now, and I would do that even with going into the office. And now I work remote, so it should be even easier. In theory,
you'd think that, but I think the other thing too is like time fucking catches up to you, man. Like I used to be able to stay out late and like just like shuffle into work a little bit, like 30 minutes late and just kind of like roll into it. Where I
used to get off on the like sort of the rush of it, like staying out till 3 a.m. and then getting getting it together to be into work at 9 a.m. and you're just getting through the day.
That's so true. I'm sure like as I say you're nuts, like our listeners are probably like, dude, Amar, you sound like a bitch. Especially because like I've powered through it. I just know that like, I don't know. I guess maybe the pandemic.
I just remember like getting it together some days and be like, here we go. And just get through the day.
Yeah. Or like even sometimes like I'd sign in on my keyboard and even though like I had this pounding headache and like memories would start flushing back from the night and I'd start to get flashbacks and I was like, fuck, I love New York.
Yeah.
Like whether it was like just like, I don't know, meeting fucking cool people and new people or like some crazy thing that we saw last night or got into or like there's always some cool story.
Yep.
You know, I mean, part of the appeal of New York was like, there's always somebody, everybody's got a cool story. Like everybody here more so than somewhere isn't just a random person.
Yeah.
Nobody, because
that's what I'm most excited about is like to, you know what, nothing against our friend group, but I'm excited to like find new people in the circle.
Yeah, well, like
add new people to the circle.
There's beauty in the spontaneity, right? Like I think what part of the charm of New York and the allure is like you're gonna run into and like get into something that you weren't expecting, but you're gonna laugh about or like is gonna be a story later, right? Yep. Like I got a taste. We met up with it. I went to drinks like a couple weeks ago, and like I met a couple for the first time, and like randomly, like just like they kind of chimed into a conversation that we were having.
Yeah.
And then like ended up sitting with us and like hanging out, and just like it was kind of awesome meeting someone. I didn't realize it was the same thing. It's like you feel refreshed. You're like, God, this is what I love about New York.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, we could live anywhere we want right now.
Yeah.
I literally could live anywhere 100%. I want.
100%.
It does not matter.
Yeah.
But I'm literally choosing to live in the most expensive place in the world. I could keep my same salary, move wherever I want, and like cut my cost of living in half.
Yeah.
And I'm choosing to live in the most expensive city in the world. But that's why.
We're psychos.
That's why.
But it is for that, right?
But I feel like to get my ROI severely went down during the pandemic, and I need to build that back up.
Mm-hmm. No, I think the funny thing is, okay, so I agree with you, and I think it's going to happen. The question is, do you think it's going to be like an instant change? Or do you think it's going to be a gradual build?
I think the minute they say that you don't have to do the social, like the 6 foot apart thing, it's instant.
I think so too.
But that's instant.
I think it's going to be like, I want it to be gradual. Like in my mind, I think like naturally I'm like, oh, this is going to be gradual, but I think shit's going to pop off immediately. Like certainly like, I mean, our group is fairly large, or our pod that we've been with for all this. Mm-hmm. There's probably about 12 people that I've been informed of that are moving here, of like friends of friends.
Yeah.
So it's like now we're looking at like our pod, once you're allowed to like grow up, going to have another group of people in, and then they're going to have friends. And so it's like suddenly, I mean, like, I don't even know if a WhatsApp's going to be able to hold all these fucking people. It's like we're just going to have this large gelatinous gelatin. I don't know if I don't know. A big fucking jelly-sized group of fucking friends that I'll just like pop in. It'll be good.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think of what else. The one thing though that has already started to pick up too, and it's a sign probably of things are going well. I'm getting texts all the time from people from like my friends from back home, all being like wanting to come out. So I've got guests.
Come to New York.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, I got a couple the other day.
Fucking like the next 2 weekends in May after this week, I've got 2 friends that I'm like hosting. Well, not hosting. I mean, they're gonna get hotel rooms, but it's like, you know, I'm gonna make reservations for them. Like, my plans are kind of going to assimilate with like showing them around, showing them have a good time. I mean, so I mean, like, and they're good people to host, so it's not like it's anything like fucked up, but or like really a drain or anything. But it's just funny where it's like, to me, like. I remember 2 years ago, I had someone come like I was gone for all of June. I had someone come like every other week, it felt like, during the summer. And it was just like overwhelming where I was like, I can't even explore this fucking city because I've got someone here all the time.
Yeah.
And like, I'm trying to cater to them, where it's like slowly like that's starting to materialize again. And you know, it's like, it's suddenly, it's almost like a blooming flower. Like these little things are happening here and there that are just reminders of like, hey, life's coming back. Life's back. Nature's healing. You know what I mean? Like outside of like the Patagonia vests and like, you know, the sunroof parties where the fuck are people say nature's healing.
No, I mean, I'm pumped. Do you think you're gonna, I was thinking a lot about how to kind of maximize my nights out. Like I think on Saturday, for example, like at least I like overdid it and like it kind of ruined my Sunday. I'm gonna try to cut back on that a little bit.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head, right? It's like what's gonna be fascinating is we're gonna almost have to relearn how to do it. Like I was really good at going out every night, knowing like having a couple beers, great, next day. You know, like I'd be able to kind of like do it all, or like would drink just enough, or like I'd be fine. I'd either get to bed early or pound water. Like I had strategies in place to make it where like I could go to work tomorrow, function fine, do it again. You know what I mean? And so like, I mean, we've been drinking the whole pandemic. It's not like we can't do it, but like, we're going to have to find that balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like,
I just want to be able to do it, repeatedly night after night without,
and that's the
like
game.
Feeling with keeping the energy up, you know, and keeping your health in check.
No one can physically, I don't think so. I don't know of anybody. that can like go and get blacked out every night, right? Like,
yeah, well, that's not the goal. Like,
you've got, if you want to go out with the boy, my boss loves to say this, it's, if you want to play with the boys or go with the boys, you got to be able to wake with the men. You know what I mean? So like, you kind of you have to learn, like, you have to know yourself. So I guess maybe this should even turn to like a tips for getting back into it. I think it's a good
Yeah.
It's like, know yourself, and if you don't, like, figure out your limit. Use this time to start figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with going to the bar, getting a few friends together on a weeknight, get prepared. You just say, like, you pick a night, you're like, let's do a Wednesday or Thursday. Ladies, fellas, ladies, grab the whole group. Be like, let's all go for drinks. Let's go to Fiddlesticks, represent. And then just like have a number in your head of what you want to drink. If you know that it's like, you know, I know that I'm probably a little more susceptible to hard alcohol, then like, let me do 2 and see how I feel. Give it an hour break. Then like sip on it. Like, learn the techniques now, because we're going to come out of this thing fucking firing. And like, you don't want to be like the drunk asshole at a work event. You don't want to be the drunk person. Like, you don't want to wake up the next morning and like not show up to a meeting, or like, you know, I mean, I think like, hate your fucking life the next day while you're working from home and want to throw up everywhere. You know what I mean?
I actually haven't been like hungover working from home in a long, long time.
Dude, I do it more than I'd like to admit.
Yeah. I don't really like, I haven't really been going out during the weekdays as much, except for Thursdays. But even Thursday, I'm home by like 10 usually.
I get bored really easily. So I've just like found myself basically filling up every night with something, like probably to the point where I'm overwhelmed. Like, I have something almost every night. And then on top of that, like, my work's picked up where I'm actually supposed to be, I have like 2 additional hours more than normal of work. Like, I probably normally be staying to like 8 doing stuff, but it's like, you know, I mean, so it's a little bit kind of chaotic, but I think it's good. I mean, like, I think it's prepped me for what's coming. That said, like, I think the way in which it's coming is going to be fun, right? Like, now all of a sudden it's like, oh, like, let's go grab cocktails at whatever bar we can find and get into, and it's open. It's going to turn into like, you know, like networking events, and like suddenly like recurring like hangouts with your friends at the same spot. Like, I think you're going to have almost like those stand-up hangouts. And I think like what you'll see more of too is, in classic New York fashion, like, you think you're there for 2 drinks, and then it turns into like a coworker knows a karaoke lounge or
that's what I miss. Yeah.
And like suddenly like you're out till 4, and like maybe, you know, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's why it's important to like know your limit, because you should say yes to all those things and you should experience them, but you don't want to do it. I mean, you're going to get hungover. It's going to fucking happen. You're going to drink more. You're going to have time. But like, just being smart about like not wasting days. We were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
do you ever go out on Sunday nights? Did you ever do that before? I used to be not super huge on it, but I used to do it a decent bit. Yeah. That's something that I kind of miss.
I try to keep Sundays and Mondays to myself, because I know the rest of the week is a little tougher. Mm-hmm. But that said, like, if it was the right opportunity, so perfect example, Jungle, this was 2 years ago. Jungle was playing a DJ set at Soho House, and Jungle's my favorite band. They did something different with the DJ set, but basically they played on a Sunday, and I had an investor meeting on a Monday at like 8 a.m. And so like things like that, like that's just how it is, right? Like for like one-off things, like I think it makes sense. You know what I mean? And like, you try to keep Sunday sacred, and then obviously you're aware, like Sunday football, like we did the thing for 17 weeks. We got drunk on a Sunday, theoretically, for the whole season. Never mind. But we got drunk on a Sunday, and then we came back on Monday. Like, I never missed a day of work after a Sunday football, and we started drinking at like 12:30 all through the day.
Yeah. So I used to go out before the pandemic. Herb and I, and sometimes I would go with other guys. We would go to this place called Bank up near Murray Hill where we used to live. And Sundays they would do half price bottles of wine.
Genius.
And it was like, it was a scene. They had live music, and it was just like a scene in there on Sunday night.
I hope they still do it. That's a good day spot.
Yeah.
Half off bottle of wine?
Yeah. Sunday nights. But you go in there, like get there around like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's when the live music starts, and it's easy to get sucked in till like 1 or 2 in the morning there. But it was always a great crowd, great time. Like, I miss doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And that's going to happen again. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I remember I was fighting with a cab about this. He's like, New York's dead. The banks are leaving. This shit's all done. And I was just like, maybe for your business. I was like, but no.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, we're reopening away from New York being New York. Like, there's still going to be young people moving because jobs are remote.
Yeah.
You still have this young,
you still need
city
to be here, like, especially if you're in especially for like the creatives and stuff like that. Like, you still need to be like amongst your people and networking and stuff like that. Like, I know remote work will change things for some people, but
I'd still tell like my kid, I've thought about this. I'm like, I think you should do at least one tour in New York while you're young. You know what I mean? Like, my only regret is that I didn't move here sooner.
Same
like,
here.
I would have loved to do it at 26. I think it would have been a better.
Yeah.
Then again, I mean, I had less money back then, and like, it would have been a lot harder. But it's like, I think that what I missed out on the most is like some connections that you'd make, a little bit of like growth opportunity of like, just same thing. It's like networking. It's like you meet a lot of people that are going through it together that are younger, people trying to establish friend groups. Where I think now we've found a really good friend group of people trying to find each other, but it's a lot harder when you're 28 than it was when you're 26 and like just out of college and figuring shit out. You know what I mean? So that said, like, some people in our group are 26. Yeah, man.
No, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm just excited to be able to like to make connections and talk with people again. Like, like Herb and I met when we went out on Thursday and met some people, and I was telling Herb, I was like, we should like make time to hang out with them. Yeah. Because so many people you just meet or you add each other on Instagram, then they fall into the oblivion.
No, 100%.
And I was like, we should, because they invited us out, I think Friday night, but we had already had plans.
I think there's something to be said too. It's like, there's nothing better than like a platonic set of girlfriends to hang out with. Like, so I love our friend group is very, very close. And like, we have like, within our subset of group, it's like a group of girls that like, or with like, it's across our friend group of girls. They're really fun. They're amazing. They're lovely humans who are phenomenal. But then like, it's really fun every once in a while to have like, to meet a random set of platonic friend women. So give you an example. At the beginning of the pandemic, like my roommate and I had met this like platonic group of girls from San Francisco who just moved to New York and were inviting us to dinner all the time. And it was like, it's just fun to have that friendship of like, we go to your roof, we're going to bring wine and like steak, we'll grill. And it was like, completely just friends. Like, it was just more people looking to hang out with people. It's like, there's something fun about it. It's like, go hit those Instagram people up. Like, that's cool to have. Like, find an event that you guys can go to. Cause it's like, our friend group is really close, but we've also been with each other for so long that like that injection of like fresh new blood of just like different perspectives and like different views and like different personalities. It's good. It's healthy. And it like tailors you for more. It's like, it's like, I just think I'm all for anything new and like developing after this. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm most excited about
after this pandemic. It's like, it's going to be fire. I'm stoked. I'm trying to think of who else. Do you have like anything, like, do you have something marked as like what you're going to do first after this pandemic? Or like when everything reopens, like what's going to be the first thing you do? I remember when everything was really shut down. Like, I was going over all this in my head. I was like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? And I think back in March and April when I was talking about this, I was like, I want to go to Fiddlesticks. I think that was like Fiddlesticks and like just stumble around the Lower East Side again. Or like, kind of in a weird way, I miss Hair of the Dog before like 4 a.m.
I do too.
Like that 12 a.m.
Yeah, I don't have a specific place that I want to go. I want to be able to just go to places and walk in and out without planning ahead.
Or
having to request a table. And so much of the time that you have at these bars, it literally can completely be good or bad depending on what table they sit you at. That's can be kind of annoying. So you can go to
I never even thought about that.
You can go to a really fun bar, and then if they sit you at like the back corner table where like nothing's really going on, it's not fun.
I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about. We've been together.
Yeah, and then but then other times like what was it last Thursday?
Yeah, two
Thursdays ago at Fiddlesticks.
Front table.
They sat us at that front table, and that was a good table.
Great table.
Some of those Sunday football days, we had great tables.
And that was all the difference.
Yeah, that's completely all the difference. Like they could have said, hey, we'll sit you at this one that's like back around the corner, and like none of those interactions would have happened.
I'm fascinated by, actually, you know what I'm really fucking excited for? Sidebar Sundays again. Sidebar Sundays.
This football season, I can't wait for.
We'll have Johnny. I'm not supposed to use fucking names. We'll have a couple new fellas in the mix who will come every week.
I was thinking about my travel plans for the summer.
I was literally about to ask you this. This is fucking amazing. Yeah.
And I was like, whatever happens, I'm going to make sure I'm back in New York and not going anywhere from September to December.
Yeah.
Just so I can be here for football season.
I sent, that's actually a great point. But like I had mild panic attack because like I looked at my calendar that I keep for like specific dates and things I got to go to. And I literally shot off like 5 texts for like weddings that I've been informed about that I have to go to. And I was just like, are you sure this is happening? Like I'm trying to clear my calendar for the next through December. Basically, like until it gets cold in New York, I'll stay for 2 weeks because I really like fucking Christmas out here. Like I want to see trees.
Yeah.
Get it? And then like I'll bounce to LA and like where it's warm or like move to Miami for like a month, whatever. Point being that like there's nowhere else in the fucking world I want to be for the next month. Or sorry, for the rest of the year.
Yeah, for the rest of the year.
Outside of New York. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to cancel every trip from here until December. I'm outside of like very specific weddings, and then I'm keeping those flights really fucking short.
Yeah.
Hell, I might get fucking tossed and like just hammered on the red eye so I can come in and just fucking power into the happy hour. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I was thinking about it. It's just like, I want to spend as much time in this city as possible and create as many like New York days and nights as we can, because like this is rare and we're only young for so long, right? Like it is, I feel like I was robbed of my 29th year. Like, hands down,
the
right?
last,
like, I was bulk excited to like become 29. I was like, I'm in my last year of my 20s. I'm going to hit it hard. It's going to be good. Like, what the fuck is a coronavirus? Like, you hear rumblings in like November, December. And then like, you know, shit happens. But I mean, like, dude, a lot of good comes out of it too, right? Like, I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Never fucking thought this would happen. Like I look at pictures of me a year ago and like I thought I had it figured out. You know, like we were talking about, woke up every day at like 5 to go work out before work. Changed completely my diet, my routine, the way I worked out, completely changed my life. Mm-hmm. So it's fascinating.
Yeah. It's so weird when everything is shut down, a lot of people are like, and I was the same way. Like I was like, I can't wait to travel again.
Yeah.
Can't wait to travel again. And now I don't really want to travel.
No,
I don't really want to travel.
No. This is the moment that every New Yorker has been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like we're on the precipice of like New York being New York.
Yeah.
Right? Like you move here for this shit. So it's like, I think, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I wonder if there's going to be a lot of people moving in. I mean, like I told you, I've heard of like,
I think you'll
5
see.
to 6.
I'm interested to see. I think
here.
the population of New York, like the average age is going to get younger.
Yeah.
Because I think the people that with families and stuff that were here because they had to be in an office are gone.
Yep.
And the people that want to be here are coming in. And I think New York will get younger.
I wonder if that'll affect the real estate prices, which is great, the rental market. Because it's like now your income is lower. Your baseline income.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like who your market, the baseline income of your market decreases, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm curious. I haven't looked at them in a while. Like when we got this place, they had dropped. I don't know if they've come back up.
My fucking innate fear that is like in the back of my mind is that I'm getting super comfortable in my new place. Got a huge COVID deal, great neighborhood. I'm obsessed with it. My innate fear is that like, because it was a COVID deal, come 12 months from now or in March, they're just going to rip the rug from under me and I've got to figure out where the fuck I'm going to go and like still try to maybe stay in the neighborhood. I don't know.
I have a mild fear about that with this place, but if you're a good tenant, I can't imagine they can raise it that much.
It's 1 month free, bro. It's not like I'm asking you to like fucking like deduct, like take everything off. It's like, dude, you give me 1 month free.
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right.
That's the big play. I'm actually going to try to push for more because I'm a sleazy, because I'm a normal human. But like, we'll see what happens, dude. But I'm like, yeah. Anyways, it's fuck. This is going to be a good summer. Summer of yes. I challenge all of you, like, say yes to everything. New experiences, like blowing a den. No, I'm just kidding.
We should have a new segment. What did we say yes to this week?
Oh,
something like that's actually pretty good. I like that idea. That holds me.
Love that.
That holds me accountable.
Yeah.
What did we say yes to this week?
Absolutely. Fuck yeah.
That's a good segment idea.
Audience, for listeners, why don't you write us with what you said yes to, and maybe we'll promote you on Twitter or Instagram. Just send us your best yeses, wins of the week.
Yeah.
I think we should start giving shout outs. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I think we should too. I was thinking about, I think for the next episode, I think we should do like an Instagram post thing to have people like submit questions.
That would be dope.
We definitely get a few.
That's our topic for next week.
Yeah.
Let's just do Instagram questions from people.
I was thinking about doing that for this week,
but a mini AMA.
Yeah, just people write in with thoughts or situations, and we'll have Herb read them and we'll address them.
You got to choose between
anything
getting mauled by a pterodactyl or crocodile. What do you choose and why? You have a
pterodactyl,
pencil.
so I don't have to drown.
And all you have is a pencil to defend yourself. Yeah. Oh fuck. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be sick. I love that idea.
All right.
Cool. So what are we thinking?
All right. I think we're good.
All right, New York, welcome back. We love you. Cannot wait. We'll see you guys out there. Be safe.
Peace.